Hello, welcome to today's edition of Get a Better Broadcast Podcast and Voice Over Voice. And we're starting a brand new series of episodes right here, right now. It kind of leads on quite naturally from what we've been talking about before. We've been talking about, haven't we, a mic fright. That's our catch-all term for anxiety, stress, discomfort in a studio situation. It's a bit like stage fright. And of course, a lot of people who are actors might still have stage fright, but still be actors. They still go on stage and do it, but they feel awful about it, but they still do a fantastic and brilliant job. How do they manage that? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And for the next few days. But this is where it starts. Your mindset at the mic. Yeah, performance anxiety is rarely researched, so actually we understand very little about the specifics of this complex condition. We know some hacks, but we also know that long-term mental health is very serious. Again, consult a medical professional for more long-term treatment for what may be underlying issues that we looked at previously. Millennia ago, our caveman ancestors would have sat around a campfire telling stories of spirits and sabre-toothed tigers. Their fellow cave dwellers' faces would be seen in the flickering flame of the fire, encouraging our ancestor on with his tale of mystery, heroism, with a combination of grunts, gestures, and wide-eyed wonderment. Skip forward, and today's storytellers sit in a windowless box, alone, yet talking to millions. We're told to be natural, when on the radio or in a TV studio there's nothing natural about it. We have to trick our Neanderthal instincts into pretending there is. So over the next few episodes, we're going to be looking at some of the most respected ways of dealing with mic fright. Over the past few weeks, we've been talking about what mic fright is and how it manifests itself. But now, how do we get over that? Now, some of the ways are straightforward. Preparation, relaxation, others a little more in-depth. We're going to be talking about therapy, and others potentially dangerous. We're going to be looking at self-medication. However, I won't be looking at some of the most obscure so-called cures that people have come up with in my research about how to deal with mic fright. I mean, some of them have things like drinking vast quantities of chamomile tea. I'm not sure that's necessarily going to help you. It might calm you down to a certain extent, but it may mean that you have to keep rushing out to the toilet. Another cure I saw was asking your colleagues to spank you. It's true. Yeah, that was a cure for stage fright, mic fright, performance anxiety. There was even another one, which I'm not actually going to say on this podcast, but it is in the show notes as well, which is even more dubious. But you know what? I've talked about drugs and alcohol and smoking, but this is a kind of weird way to get over performance anxiety. And I'm not going to mention it verbally on the podcast, but as I say, it's in my show notes. Everyone's different. Those may work for you, but I'm not going to be talking about them again in this series of podcast episodes. But of course, the catch-22 with learning how to deal with studio pressure is that such training can really only take place in a studio with a red light and the knowledge that thousands or millions of people are listening, and the realization that the only real cure for excessive nervousness is experience. Having said all that, we're going to be talking about it tomorrow and for the next few days. So tomorrow, knowing your nervous triggers, what actually does set you off. Then after that, how to be channeling the adrenaline and renaming and reframing mic fright. That's what we're going to be talking about over the next few days, right here with me, Peter Stewart. Thanks for the loan of your ears. Back tomorrow with more on Get a Better Broadcast Podcast and Voice Over Voice. From London, I'm Peter Stewart. You're going to look at the show notes now, aren't you?